Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I'm SocietySucks and today I'm checking out Let's Talk About Fat by Kurzgesagt. Now, I don't have much fat. I'm quite skinny, a little bit on the weight. So I'm not exactly sure if they're going to talk about what effects fat has on you, like if you have too much or too little of it, or if it's something else. Let's see.
Fat is your most dangerous organ. Yes, organ. While it's often falsely described as a mere expression of laziness or gluttony, fat is essential for health, controlling and guiding crucial processes in your body. But if you have too much fat, it starts to disrupt your metabolism, becoming one of the most deadly things that can happen to your body. Today, more people are obese than starving, which is a huge victory. There are all sorts of ideas about the cause of the obesity epidemic, but it really comes down to one thing. For millions of years, humans had to expend a lot of effort to get food and often faced hunger. Our bodies evolved to hold on to every bit of energy. And then suddenly, we had an overabundance of food we didn't need to move much for. We made food hyper-palatable and ultra-processed, with loads of unhealthy fats, salt and sugar. Our brains love this, so our food is extremely hard to resist, to the point of being addictive. It's also extremely convenient, cheap, and you get a lot of energy per volume, so it's not very satiating. This leads to most of us regularly overeating without realizing it. And food is aggressively marketed, especially to children. Fat comes with a lot of shame and blame, which is pretty unfair in a world full of things that make you feel nice and are available within minutes.
Well,
body fat is...
You can blame the food we eat, but at the same time, if you're eating things like pizza, burgers, French fries, just unhealthy stuff in general, if you eat a lot of it, you can't blame the food. It's your choice. You choose what you eat. If you eat a bunch of highly processed, crappy food, it's on you. It's not the food, it's you. You're the problem. Because you choose to eat the food.
It's also often unfairly villainized, but it's crucially important for your health. And if you don't have enough, you can suffer problems from infertility to a weak immune system, fatigue, mental health issues, and osteoporosis. Still, none of this changes how bad excess fat is for us.
Exactly.
So, how does our fat organ become so destructive, and can we help ourselves? What is fat? If you consume more energy than you burn, you store it as triglycerides, an organic battery bustling with energy, collected in a large drop of fat inside a white fat cell. Gain weight and white fat cells expand with fat, lose weight, and they shrink. Only in the last few decades have we learned fat's most important job. Fat is an endocrine organ, part of the system that makes and regulates your hormones, chemical signals for your brain, liver, muscles, digestive tract, and immune system, making them work correctly together. Unfortunately, if you become overweight and obese, your fat organ and the many hormones it releases turn insane.
I wonder if fat has anything to do with growth hormones, you know, like getting bigger during puberty. When you just shoot up, you get really tall. Because I've always been quite skinny. And I'm not very tall. I'm like 1.73 m, which for all my American viewers, I think it's about 5'7". Maybe my lack of fat is the reason why I'm so short.
In adults, fat comes in two types of white fat depots. Most of it is subcutaneous fat, the gooey soft stuff under your skin that insulates against the cold and serves as energy storage. The other one is visceral fat nestled between your organs, providing a soft cushion for your sensitive insides. But it also happens to be more dangerous. These fat cells are super sensitive to stress hormones like cortisol or adrenaline. When they pick up a surge of stress, they release fatty acids directly into your blood and are picked up by your liver as a rapid source of energy. On top of that, your visceral fat is very metabolically active in a constant hormonal dialogue with the rest of your body. This is also why the health of two people with the same weight and amount of fat can be totally different. If you're pear-shaped and your fat is mostly in your hips or limbs, you're much less at risk than someone apple-shaped with a lot of fat in their torso.
Yeah.
Bite by bite. As you gain unhealthy weight, excess visceral fat triggers a cascade of negative changes all at once. fat cells bloat up to their limit until they outgrow their blood supply and get starved of oxygen. They become critically stressed or even die. This is bad. If you're overweight or obese, your fat is basically a wounded organ leaking stress and poison into your system. Especially your visceral fat, even more triggered by the extra stress hormones, makes your blood more fatty. This overfeeds your organs like your liver or your muscles, who can't keep up anymore and begin to take damage. The cellular stress and dead fat cells are emergency signals that call your immune system to a...
If it damages those cells so much, how do people get to the point where they weigh like 300 pounds or more? Like, how do they not die way before they reach that point? Like, I think on TLC, you've definitely seen, if you've been on the internet, those really fat people who weigh like 400 pounds even, maybe more for some of them. How do they not die way before they reach that massive of a weight?
Fight. Armies of macrophages invade your fat tissue, creating clusters trying to eliminate the cause of the stress, but can't. So they stay and call for more help. In a lean person's fat, immune cells make up about 5% of cells. In an obese person's fat, up to 40%.
Wow!
Active immune cells cause inflammation, bloating up your
That's
tissue
8
and
times
releasing
as
even more
much.
alarm signals, which is good for a short amount of time when you're sick. But if it becomes chronic, it's like your entire body is under friendly fire. The inflammation molecules and fatty acids rip countless tiny wounds into the insides of your blood vessels, which leads to plaques that desperately try to close them. This narrows your blood vessels and reduces the flow of oxygen-rich blood. Inflammation also causes your blood pressure to rise, so your heart has to work harder and your risk of heart attacks or strokes increases massively. To make things worse, your fat organ's hormone production gets out of whack. Like leptin, the satiety hormone. With a healthy amount of fat, leptin tells your brain when you have enough energy storage, can eat less and spend more energy. But if you have too much fat, instead of becoming less hungry, your brain becomes resistant against the constant flood of leptin.
So you just keep
your
eating no matter
internal
what?
Food thermostat, which is one of the reasons why many people who are overweight feel intense hunger. Their fat is
They
screaming
just
at
don't
their
even
brain
know
that they have enough,
that
but the brain is
they
not
have
hearing
enough.
the message anymore. Your sex hormones also get out of whack.
Okay, so people who are very overweight, they don't even know that they have enough. They're just constantly hungry. On one hand, I get how that could cause someone to just keep gaining weight, but at the same time, you have eyes and a brain. You can see. You can clearly see that, hold on, I'm eating more than I used to. Something's changed.
Testosterone is lowered while estrogen is overproduced. In women, this increases the risk of breast cancer significantly. Most people are not aware how much the risk of cancer rises with excess fat. In the US, almost 10% of all cancers are directly related to being overweight or obese.
But
And to top this
it's
off,
the US.
obese cancer patients have much worse outcomes, succumbing to the disease more often and sooner. None of this is great.
Well, yeah, because they've
but
got a
even
bunch of
worse
other
is what
problems
happens to
too.
one of your most important hormones, insulin. When the hormone world explodes. Insulin is a hormone produced by your pancreas that tells your cells to open their tiny mouths and eat up glucose from your blood. It's your body's way of screaming, dinner time. Disastrously bombarded by the stress from your excess fat, cells all over your body become insulin resistant, worse at eating glucose and taking up energy. Your body tries to compensate by pumping out more insulin, screaming louder. This can go on silently for many years and progress to prediabetes with no or only subtle symptoms like fatigue or hunger.
So that's
But
how
as the
diabetes
damage
happens.
accumulates, eventually your body just can't keep up anymore. Something breaks and you get type 2 diabetes. The cells responsible for insulin production are so overworked that they stop functioning properly and eventually give in. Your insulin
No more
crashes
insulin.
drastically and your body can't compensate. While the blood is now saturated with glucose, yet you're starving and feel exhausted and unwell. Imagine this as trillions of tiny sharp shards floating through you, damaging your blood vessels, nerves and organs, causing slow but constant damage everywhere. At this point, your body is so chronically inflamed that almost all organ systems are affected.
Your
The
body's
kidneys
basically
are
destroying
overwhelmed,
itself.
making you pee way more. Your vision gets blurry, Your immune system is severely weakened, wounds heal slower, dying nerves lead to numbness and pain. You may experience shortness of breath, chest discomfort, erectile dysfunction, and high blood pressure, problems with your memory, focus, mood, and even depression. Your risk of developing just about every possible deadly disease goes through the roof. On average, type 2 diabetes shaves 10 years off your life and reduces your health
10 years
span
is quite a lot.
massively, arguably as much as smoking.
As much as
If current obesity
smoking?
trends continue, up to 1 in 3 Americans will have diabetes by 2050. There is no nice
1 in
way to put
3
this.
by
Excessive fat
2050.
strains nearly every organ system in your body, ages you much quicker, and often leads to multi-system damage and dysfunction. And yet, fat is still mostly discussed through the lens of aesthetics first and health second.
Because
Which is
people are
kind of
dumb.
baffling, considering that most, if not all, of the toxic effects of your excess fat basically go away as soon as you lose it and start eating a healthy-ish diet. Once your
Really?
fat cells contract again,
It's that
they
easy?
stop being stressed and your immune system calms down. The excess blood fat and sugar drops to normal levels and your body recovers. Even if you already have full-blown diabetes type 2, by losing weight you can reverse many of the negative effects and drastically improve your health and
But you won't
lifespan.
lose the diabetes.
So, if you've been waiting for a push to get
Right?
started, now is the time.
You can't lose diabetes once you get them.
Feeding your body new
Oh damn, it's over already. Well, that was kind of quick. So you, even once you get type 2 diabetes, you can still reverse some of the effects? I thought that once you had diabetes, that's it. I mean, obviously, even with diabetes, you can still live a decent life, but you're going to have more issues, obviously. Okay, so I just checked online, and it is possible to get type 2 diabetes to kind of go away, put them into remission, but you still have the diabetes. So while you can kind of get them to go away, they're still always there. So if you gain weight again, you're going to have the terrible effects of diabetes once more. That's the best way I can explain it. So once you do get type 2 diabetes, even if you manage to lower the effects, lose the weight, you still always have to watch yourself because they could come back. So your life isn't over, you just have to pay closer attention to your weight, your blood sugar, that stuff. I mean, this was a very informative video. I didn't know about a lot of these effects. I didn't realize just how bad excess fat was. Obviously, I knew it was bad, but this is much worse than I first believed. I'm a bit disappointed that there wasn't much information about the lack of fat. Obviously, there was a lot of talk about excess fat, but like I said, I myself don't have enough of it. I'm too skinny. So this video pretty much doesn't apply to me at all, which kind of sucks because I was hoping for at least a little bit of talking about what happens when you don't have enough fat. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, if you're overweight, you should definitely pay more attention to the labels on the food you eat. Check the contents, how much sugar, fat, protein is in there. Maybe start eating more fruits, vegetables. Get rid of things that have a lot of added sugars like candy, sweetened water, soda, and replace them with natural sugars that you can find in fruits. Obviously, you don't have to completely cut sugar. You don't have to get rid of candy or any other sweet treats you like forever. Just eat them in moderation. Don't eat too much of it. It's just not healthy. I actually recently got completely rid of any added sugars in my diet. Well, almost all of them. You see, I was drinking sweetened water for a good 10 years, maybe more. But once my anxiety started, I decided to look at labels more, and lo and behold, I was consuming probably around 100 grams of added sugars per day. I'm not sure how much exactly, but I think you shouldn't go past 50 grams of added sugars per day. I was doing more than double that every single day for over a decade. Yet somehow I didn't gain any weight, which is kind of weird to me, but whatever. See, I cut sugar completely because apparently too much sugar can also worsen anxiety. So I got rid of that to help with my anxiety. And something I have to say is that you have withdrawal effects from sugar. They're not as bad as withdrawal from when you stop drinking or taking some sort of drugs. But withdrawal from sugar is a real thing. I felt like shit for a while because, I mean, I consumed a lot of sugar and now I'm consuming zero. So my system, my body had to completely change everything, rebalance. Anyway, that's enough yapping. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like. If you want to see more reactions, check out this video right here. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.